So we're in the studio, I'm at the piano, and we're ready to make a song from scratch. The song that will follow us throughout this entire series. Today, this song will be born, and we'll arrange it, we'll record it, produce it, do all kinds of things to it, and we'll mix it, master it, and finally release it onto the world throughout this series. So it will be very exciting for me and hopefully for you as well. Today I'm using a Yamaha KX88 master keyboard from the mid-80s, and I'm using a EMU performance piano module to make this work. I'm from a typical classic singer-songwriter tradition, which means that I'm making the song with the chords, the melody, the structure, everything before I do anything else. That was very typical for artists in the 80s, and they came from that same tradition as well. Some of the songwriters, some of the band members, the artists, etc., they sat down in their home environment, often with a guitar or at the piano, and worked out, fleshed out the song, the structure, chord, melody lines, using a little tape recorder, and they recorded what they did and then presented that to other band members, their producers, etc. And they took the song from there by arranging it, rearranging it, maybe changing things here and there, of course, and recording it, producing it, etc., and finally released it. One thing you should always do when you sit down to write a piece of song acoustically in the room with a piano or guitar or anything like that is to have a little tape recorder ready. This is a Zoom H1, and every time I sit down to write a song this way, which I'm about to show you, I turn this on and record everything I do in the room. So if magic happens, I can always go back and listen to exactly what I did. Today I'm recording everything into the DAW, so I don't need to have this on right now. But this is my first tip of the day. Always record what you do when you're writing, making, or working on new stuff, because you never know what might happen and it's easy to forget, but this will not forget. So I turn it on, and I usually just set it aside, put it aside, and let that record everything I do. It's worked wonders over the years, and a lot of my ideas would have been lost if it wasn't for a little recorder like that. Another thing I like to say before we start is that making a song on camera in real time from scratch is a kind of daunting experience, and as such I cannot promise that the song we'll be making will be my best song ever. I can't guarantee it will be a hit song, of course, which would probably not happen anyway, but I will try to make it to the best of my ability, and I hope something beautiful will emerge from this session. It better, because we're gonna follow that song for another 9 episodes, so it'll have to be good. So that's out of the way, and yeah, let's put on some headphones and start working with the microphone and with the sounds and see what we get. It's kind of daunting, as I said, to do this on camera in real time. Where do I start? Well, let me ask you this. Why do you write songs? I can answer myself. For me, I want to tell a story. And today, I don't know what the story will be, but hopefully doing some chords will give me some ideas. So what will we do first? Well, let's just play something. Well, that's kind of a little too moody. Remember, this is all done live. I'll give you a glimpse into my thought process. I'm just now trying to find a initial idea, a cool idea to build on. So let's do something else. Another key. do like minor chords and the major chords, major 7 chords. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay, here we have something I can probably build a little bit upon. Again, it is a kind of chord that I would... I really should stay away from since I've used it before, but okay, let's see how it goes. So this is a E minor 7, which is basically is a G chord over an E bass. And since I want this to be a up-tempo song, maybe not too fast, but not too slow either, doing a sort of pedaling of bass could be something I'd go for. Pedaling the bass means that the root bass note keeps the same every time, and you just change out the chords on top. But let's do a little variation on that, which goes something like this. I think that can work. So if you take the E minor 7 and an A chord with a D bass, I've not used this before, but it does sound kind of familiar with the 80s theme we're going for. But that sounds kind of unresolved, so instead let's lift that up. That's a beginning, I think. And that can also be the melody line, actually. Okay, so that was repeated 2 times. Again, just trying to give you an insight to what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking that is 2 out of 4 times. I think this should be repeated 4 times with slight changes in the melody line. Let's try it. Da, 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 da. No words yet. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, so the chord I'm taking, the top note of the chord is also playing the melody line, or the melody line is the top note of the chord. So in the arrangement later, which I don't want to focus on too much right now, in the arrangement later, when instruments are playing the chords, the top note I'm singing should not be the top note of the instrument. So I'll have to do some chord inversions later, because that'll bring out some more texture of the whole arrangement. So just keep that in the back of your head right now, so I can demonstrate it by doing the chord in another way. So So that can bring out some more depth into the arrangement later. So let's keep that in mind. So we have something going here which we can expand upon. So now I'm just playing the melody line with the top note on the keys. And this can be done in different ways also in the arrangement later. We could change the tempo if you want to. So this opens up some more possibilities, great possibilities later. Okay, so if we repeat that 4 times then. And now we have to come to or go to another chord. Something new has to happen in the arrangement. If this was part of the verse, now we get to the second part of the verse, or maybe a sort of pre-chorus or a bridge to a pre-chorus. So we end on that. So instinctively, I feel like going. A sort of climb downwards can be kind of, or a little too moody or dark. Chromatic climbing down, a chromatic climb down, maybe not what I was going for. So I end on the B minor, and so maybe the melody line should go up to the B, but not with the B minor, because it sounds kind of little bit too flat. Flat not in a music theory way, but flat in the emotion. So let's instead go. A chord that is very similar to the B minor but sounds even more melancholic is a G major 7, which is basically the B minor chord but with the G bass. So let's try that instead. Yes, that will work. Yes. So from the G major, F sharp minor instead of G major, and going up to the A chord instead can work in a variation. Let's see, for a second verse. But for now, let's go. Yes. G minor, G major 7, F sharp minor, and E minor 7, A. But let's not change that E minor 7 over to another chord. Let's just let that chord hang there for a bar or half a bar, because it'll add more tension, I think. That opens up possibilities in the arrangement later for adding some nice sounds, or just linger that moment. I think that's emotionally important for the song at this point, to have some ups and downs. Da, 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 ha, ha. we need to finish. We'll repeat that as well, I think, and we'll finish with a sort of climb upwards towards a chorus. This is, after all, a pop song, so some cliches must be there, but we'll try to finesse them in different ways. So let's do everything from the top. Yeah. I think we'll end. I think we'll go to the E minor 7 again, but let's check this out. So that is a sort of clown at work, but kind of ordinary end there with the E sus4, the suspended A. So if we instead go for that, will work much better. So either we end on the B minor 7 or D, I think B minor 7. And now we can repeat it again with that A suspended 4th at the end. Yeah, so we'll end up on the A. Maybe we can do the first pre-chorus, just doing the first climb, ending here. And maybe the second time after the second verse we can climb. This is also something we can work on in the arrangement later when we add other instruments, sounds, etc. What will work best in that setting. So let's end it on there for now. So now we actually have a verse and a pre-chorus. And we can move on to a chorus. I don't think the song will be too fast or too slow, not a ballad, not too high energy, but something in between. But the chorus now will need a sort of bouncy feel to it, I think. And if we end the pre-chorus in either B minor 7 or A, which can vary throughout the song, let's see how it goes. So I think it's a good idea to start the chorus in E minor as well, without the 7. Because if I'd done it in a sort of uplifting chord progression like that, it could be sort of too cheesy, even for me, which is rooted and a diehard 80s man. The chord progression is important. I want the song to be kind of on the more sophisticated side of the 80s pop genre, so I don't want it to be too festival band-like, if you know what I mean. So let's try the E minor. That won't work. Yeah. That can work, even if that sounds kind of cheesy as well. Yeah, that'll work, but again, remember, I'm not going to play it like this in the final arrangement. This is just now to compose the song. We're helping the song getting born right now. So I'm just after the feel of the tempo and stuff like that. So this will definitely change later. But the chord structure, I think this will work for a chorus. Yeah, if you go down. So here I'm simulating a sort of synth bass, so it can go in different ways, both the Italo disco way or more a standard synth-pop way. So da 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 So I think this will work as a chorus. Okay, so we need a bridge, and a bridge can be many things. It can go in many directions. They can be short, they can be long in duration. But let's see where we end. So that's one way to end the chorus, but I think we'll go into the bridge a little bit before that. And from that A chord, there are many ways we can go into a bridge. But I don't want it to sound too cheesy again. So I won't do a sort of lift like that. I want to keep it... yeah, that's... Even though this is a chord, my standard chord, I think this will probably work better. So these chords are much more in line with the start of the song. The same melancholic, new romantic feel. So I think this bridge will work nicely, actually. So this is a nice lift, even though I'm using major ninth chords. So now we have a song. think this will turn out beautifully in the end, actually. I can hear some things I love to show you when we come to the video where we'll arrange and pick out sounds and stuff like that for this to be a more complete song, which is the purpose of this series, of course. I might do mock words all up to the moment I stand in front of the microphone and record the vocals. I know George Michael did this as well. Very rarely did he have lyrics written before he stepped up to the microphone. He just made the lyrics up right then and there. For me, it's kind of a 50-50. Sometimes I have all the words written out beforehand because it comes to me while I'm writing the song, making the song. Today it was more difficult because I was doing this in front of the camera and explaining as I went along, so I focused on the music. So I don't think I'll have many words for this ready until I actually record the vocals, and that will be in another video. So for now, well, for me, 6 weeks has passed since I recorded the first part that you just watched. And like I said in the first part, I had to wait with the top line and lyrics because the circumstances around me recording a tutorial inhibited me from coming up with a good top line and lyrics at the time. So I've been watching what I've done. I've been listening to the chords, play the chords for a while, and I've sort of just went through different ideas and ideas for lyrics and melody lines, top lines in my head, and nothing really happened. So I've worked on other parts of the tutorial instead in the meantime. But 2 days ago, I was sitting in the living room watching TV, and I heard my wife in the background, and she was listening to a song on her phone. And I didn't pick up who the artist was or what the music was about, who it was, but I heard one tone, one note, a part of the song she was listening to, and that just sort of clicked in my head. I thought, that's exactly what I need to finish the top line. And so I went up here, pulled out the first part of the video, listened to the chords again, and I sat down, and in about 10 minutes I had most of the top line for the entire song and most of the lyrics as well. And as I told you in the first part of the video, when I step up to the microphone to record the final vocals, then there's always going to be some minor changes to what I've sort of settled down with. But that's how it is. I guess it's like that for every artist, every vocalist, every composer. You change things up until the last minute. That's just part of the game. But I think I now have 98% of the lyrics and the top line for the entire song. So this part will not be a real-time recording of my thoughts, but I will take you through what I've done and some of the motivation behind what I did in terms of the top line. When it comes to the lyrics, well, I can't really explain the lyrics, except it's part of my own life. I always write things from my own life. Sometimes it's exaggerated, sometimes it's more distant, but it's always based on some part of my life in thought of emotions, experience, etc., etc. So the lyrics is really up to you to interpret yourself. I will give you the final lyrics in the video description later. Some words in the lyrics are more based off my need to have the right vowel sounds, because that's very important to me. I will always try to change out a word here and there, so the rhythm of the word is flowing with the song. That's also very important to me personally. So let's check out what I've done so far. So the verses will go something like this. Can I go back? Can I go back in time? I wanted more. I want wanted to say so much. I wonder why we didn't make it through. I wonder why. Can I have one more chance? I have a sustain pedal here that makes those squeaky noises. I apologize for that. So that was basically the verse. The chords are just as we left it in the first part. I played it very simple now, because I'll leave that for the arrangement later. This will be a sort of up-tempo song. So to break it down a little. So I varied the top line, some intervals, going back and forth between the root notes and some augmented notes based off the chords, makes it more contrasty. It adds more texture and depth to the melody line along with the chords. So can I go back? Can I go back in time? I wanted more. I wanted to say so much. So that's the first part, the bridge, the G major 7, as you remember. I wonder why we didn't make it through. Again, here's some room for things in the arrangement later. I wonder why. Can I have one more chance? So those chords going upwards, the pre-chorus. If I play the melody line a little bit different in the rhythm, it'll make a nice contrast to each other. So that was the verse. And now we get to the chorus. And if you remember those chords, E minor 7, A, B minor, G, to get a sort of lift, going to a major chord right there. So let's do it from the end of the pre-chorus. Can I have one more chance? With time, things can change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. With time, pride will fall. Wrapped in nostalgia, you'll be there, and I'll be there forever. So that is the chorus. So let's break it down. It's tempting to start with that. Time, things will change. But I think that's a little bit too boring. I think it's much more interesting to augment that note. Da 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 da. In time, things will change. Ba 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 ba. Oh, that ba 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 ba. I'm not going to sing that in the chorus. I'm not going to replace those with words either. I'm going to sample my voice and play that as a synth sort of signature at that part. I think it's going to be very nice. I have this in my head, and we'll get back to that once we go into the arrangement. So just for now, just think that ba 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 is a kind of synth signature hook or whatever. So so I start on that A note. In time, things can change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. In time, pride will fall. Wrapped in nostalgia, here I sing those notes wrapped in nostalgia, which I'm gonna play as a hook a few bars earlier. I think this is gonna work out quite nice actually. And I end it with, on that B minor. So that will be the first chorus. These lyrics, I'm going to say a little bit. The lyrics are about going back in time, whether it's in my thoughts or in a DeLorean. Well, that will be up to the producer of the music video. Just kidding. I don't think I'll be able to afford any music videos with DeLoreans doing this. I'll be happy if I'm going to do a music video at all. But let's see what happens. So that's the chorus. And from that B minor, we'll go back to the second verse. Can I go back? That was the first verse. Now, when we'll embark on the second verse, I'll have to change the top line, the melody line, a little bit, again, to not bore the listener, but take them on another journey. I can't stray too far away either, so it's going to be a compromise between inventing something new and sticking to the old. So let's see what we have. When you hear my calls, feeling lost in time. So I've changed it up a little bit, but you have the idea of the first melody line from the first verse still. So it's just a variation. Can I go back when you hear my calls? Feeling lost in time. Just pick up the phone with a smile. Going into the pre-chorus. I wonder if we're gonna make it back to 85. Will our worlds collide? Tell me, will they? It's pretty much the same as the first verse. Some different words, of course, a little different rhythm and phrasing, but it's basically the same. I wonder if we're gonna make it back to 85. Will our worlds collide? Will they? Tell me. With time, things can change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. And here, during the second part of the second chorus, we'll go into something new that wasn't there in the first part of this video. So let's break it down. In time, things can change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. And now we're going to a C major. D, G, C minor with that E flat. And now we go into the bridge. Those chords are the same as from the first part, the bridge part. So what's happening in the chorus is this. In time, things can change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. Tell me now. Da 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 da. Tell me now. Again to break up, modulate into another key. Tell me now. Oh, leave me forever. And that leave me forever line, that's part of those 2%. I'm not totally sure about that line yet. At the time you watch this will be, of course, committed to the final track. So it's no point in commenting now, making suggestions, because the song will be finished before you see this. But at this point, I'm not totally sure about that line. So that's the second chorus going into the bridge. And what leaves us now is a last bridge and the final choruses. So coming out of the bridge, which is repeated 2 times, I go into that pre-chorus part from the verses. I wonder why we didn't make it back in 84. Pay attention to the word or year 84 here. In the second verse, I had a reference to 85. I said, I wonder if you're going to make it back to 85, because 85 was the year we might have broken up, maybe. And in the last part here, I'm singing, I wonder why we didn't make it back in 84, because the 84 is sort of the year where things started to get sour, perhaps, or things didn't work out, or circumstances came in our way. But it's also to rhyme with a word coming later in this part, which you haven't heard. So I think it'll make a nice contrast. Maybe I'll change it, I don't know. I don't think so. Let's do it from the top. I wonder why we didn't make it back in 84. I wonder why. Now I wonder if will we score. G major 7, F sharp minor 7, F major 7, E minor 7, chromatically. And I do this to make the last pre-chorus a little bit longer. It gives me some more time to squeeze out the last emotions of the wonder why thing. And I just thought it worked as a nice contrast texture, a little bit of alteration to those previous pre-choruses. Again, to give the listener a little bit more adventure, a little bit more to listen to. So from the top, I wonder why we didn't make it back in 84. I wonder why. Now I wonder if. And since I'm ending on the E minor 7 here, I can't go up towards the end of the pre-chorus the same way as before, because that started on the E minor 7. So now I'm actually 1 key below. D minor 7, E minor 7, F major 7, A minor, or maybe I'll take a C chord with the A bass, I don't know. Let's see what we do in the arrangement. And now we're ready for the last choruses. For the last choruses, I'll do it a little bit differently. Again, like I said before, to just add depth to the composition and to not bore myself nor the ones listening. This is very important to me. That's why I say it so many times. Like I almost started this video, I come from a singer-songwriter thing where the melody and the chord progression is very important. I like to have lots of chords. So the last choruses go something like this. Will we score? With time, things can change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. So this is a very classic chord progression used by many hit songs during the years. And now I change again. Same chord progression, just a different key. I go from the C up to the E flat instead. So let's do it seamlessly. In time, things can change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. In time, things will change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. So I chose these chords because they sound good. The key change sounds good to me, and I can start on that G note in both of the keys. So I'm gonna prepare something nice in the arrangement for that last part, those last two choruses. So this is basically the song written, chords, melody line, the top line, with the lyrics. And I'll run it through from the top as a whole one last time, and that will conclude this first video in the series where we actually compose the song. Can I go back? Can I go back in time? I wanted more. I wanted to say so much. I wonder why we didn't make it through. I wonder why. Can I have one more chance? With time, things can change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. With time, pride will fall. Wrapped in nostalgia, you'll be there, and I'll be there forever. When you hear my calls and you're feeling lost in time, just pick up the phone with a smile. I wonder if we're gonna make it back to 85. Will our worlds collide? Will they tell me? With time, things can change. Ba 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 ba. Signs of life. And in part 2, we'll check out how we will arrange this. We'll start on the arrangement of the song. So hopefully I'll see you there. Cheers.